Hello and welcome to the Fall Review, the show where things glisten in the light and I smile uncontrollably. My name's Hydo and I'm going to be your guide through this horrible, horrible time that we're having right now. If you'd like to continue having miserable times with me, consider subscribing. That'd make me go like this. And I'd thoroughly enjoy it. Without further ado, let's move on to our first card in white. Anafenza, Kin Tree Spirit. 2 mana, 2/2. Nice little bear we got going on there. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, bolster 1. So, this card really good with anything that has -1/-1 counters, can cancel them out. Particularly persist creatures. You know, Kitchen Finks becomes a 2/1, and then as, you know, 1 is generally the lowest toughness you can have, you bolster onto it, removing the -1/-1 counter. Hey ho, let's go. But without further ado, let's have a look at the foil. Okay, first things first, I am afraid I have some gold writing, which frankly sickens me. It is rather disgusting, I'm sorry. And also, the actual logo for the Abzan, I believe this is, it doesn't stand out at all. It's just a very matte foiling. Like, in other logos that we've seen, it really stands out, but this, it's just bleh. Very uninteresting. Let's have a look at the actual image. There she goes. Nice little bit of foiling there. The tree sort of kind of stands out. This image is all one big mush, really. There's no definition to it. I suppose that's the point. She is a spirit. She sort of exists in an ethereal realm. I do like that sort of blade of light there. That looks really quite cool. Catches the light nicely. But overall, it's just a mush. A bit further away, you can see the details there. You can see where her sort of silhouette is. So it's not too bad, but just nothing particularly precise. And I think it's a 5. Very run-of-the-mill, very average. Yeah, it's a 5. Move on. Laboratory Maniac. A classic commander win condition here. 3 mana for a 2/2. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Fantastic card. People have won games, countless games with this effect. Usually in a combo sort of manner. If you do get to 0 cards in library just by drawing 1 per turn, you've probably had a miserable time and should consider playing a combo, to be quite honest with you. But let's have a look at the foil. There he is. First thing, nice bit of lightning up at the top. Those sort of balls that are shooting lightning balls. Very cool. And over at the side, nice bit of laboratory technician sort of stuff. I guess they're vials of goo. And in the background we've got, is that a brain in a cage? Or just something in a cage? I don't really know. Yeah, it's quite a cool foil. You know, oh, the orb on his chest as well, that's nice. And a very, very slight foiling on his eyes. If you catch it there. Yeah, okay. Lots of nice little details here. Really quite cool. I like it. Yeah, that's decent. Decent foil. Decent foil. I think we're going to go 7. It looks pretty damn cool. A classic card and lots of nice detail, which was missing from the Anafenza. Very nice, very nice. And that brings us on to Herald of Shrek. When I saw this card when I was younger, I just thought, wow, how utterly miserable to play against. But it isn't really. It's only 1 land per turn. Then 2, then 3, and then 4. The beauty of cumulative upkeep. But it is 7 mana for a 2/4. So removal is a thing. But let's have a look at what he does. He's a flying 2/4 and has cumulative upkeep, gain control of a land you don't control. Herald of Shrek gets +1/+1 for each land you control you don't own. When Herald of Shrek leaves play, each player gains control of each land he or she owns that you control. All sorts of words and stuff like that. But if you're playing a sort of stealing deck, really cool. Maybe you could play Blim, Comedic Genius, and then you're giving your stuff away, but then you're stealing their lands back. You know, nice little trade-off. Quite cool, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's have a look at the foil. Unfortunately, this isn't a original set foil. This is a... There you go, I see the little... Oh, didn't notice that was foil. That's cool. Yeah. I did not realise that symbol was foil. So obviously it's a mystery booster foil. Oh, his eyes glow. Nice little bit of red there. And then the background is a sort of nice purpley colour. And that's it. There's no other details. I suppose there is a bit through his wing there. The image overall is very, very cool. I love his sort of tusks and horns that are flying everywhere. He is very sinewy. Look at the muscles that are going on there. Wow, stealing lands must be quite athletic work. But the actual foil, it's just background and a bit of eyes. Very underwhelming. Yeah. I think we're gonna go 3. 3, it's just not exciting. It is a bit moody, but I don't think the foil really adds to that. The image itself is just quite moody, isn't it? A bit of an emo boy. But anyway, let's move swiftly on. Oh no. Barbed Shocker. Hi. Barbed Shocker is a 4-mana 2/2 that has Trample and Haste. Trample, very bizarre mechanic to have on a 2/2, but I suppose the idea is that you pump him up and then you can get through for damage. And if you get through for damage, whenever Barbed Shocker deals damage to a player, that player discards all cards from his or her hand and draws that many cards. Interestingly, this is actually just damage. It's not combat damage, so if you were somehow able to make him a pinger, so he could go and ping them for 1 damage, then they'd wheel their hand. Quite cool in a Nekasar sort of base deck. But let's have a look at his foil. There's the little insect boy. And yeah, the background very detailed. The foil just gets sort of lost in it. It looks rather dull. Although it does seem like he's sort of farting flames there. I guess, is that what's happening? I don't really know, to be quite honest. But overall, looks sort of nice. Got some decent eye work there. Yeah, it's okay. Cool little card. What are we going to go? I think it's a 6. Pretty average. Decent. You know, the farting of fire always, excites me in many, many ways. So, get some points for that. To green. Ferocious Charge. A 3-mana instant. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Scry 2. Now, this card is obviously not that great. It's just a limited card. But the ability to scry 2, I say that's equivalent to probably drawing a card. Makes your draws a lot better. It is an instant as well. You can do it at the end of your opponent's turn. But let's be honest, if you're giving something +4/+4, you're going to be attacking with it. Works quite well with a little Barbed Shocker, Can pump him up and he gets through for damage. Wow. What a combination of things. Anyway, Ferocious Charge. Big tusky thing. Tusks and pointy things seem to be the theme of this episode. Didn't really know that, but there you go. And unfortunately, if we have a look, he is a little bit bent. What can you do? Let's get in there. Ferocious Charge. Ooh, look at that eye. That eye that we're looking at the left, so his right eye really stands out. And then the other one is very small. I don't like that. Although I guess it is the perspective. And then look at the gnashes on him. Those teeth. With a little bit of spittle. Oh my god, look at the size of him. I didn't even realise that. Look at those little elves for perspective. Wow, he is massive. All right, okay. Is that +4/+4 massive? No, I'd say it's probably more +10%. It's more like an Eldrazi. This thing is colossal. But there we go. Nice bit of perspective. And you can pick them out. You know, the foil doesn't shine through them. They really stand out. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm going to go 8 for this one. I didn't realise how big he was. And there's nice bits of detail. His eyes, his teeth, they look really cool. And then the little fellas down on the floor. Very cool. That looks very, very cool indeed. But let's move on to colours. We've got Ur-golem's Eye. A 4-mana artifact that taps for 2 colours. That's it. It's an eye. Cool. Let's have a look at how it looks. Oh, you can see the glisten coming towards us there. A lot of foil going on there. The entire background is completely foil, which really brings your eye to this eye thing. Which, you know, nice bit of detailing work. All the sort of golden parts flow through it. And then the center of it is completely foil. Very simple, but I think it's really quite effective. You know, it catches your eye. Hey, eye, eye, hey, hey. And it's an eye. Catches your eye. And, yeah, simple. Simple but effective, I'd say. Decent. 7. It's all right. It's okay. Sadly, the place that I used to live was very cold and rather damp. So these older foils, they do have a bit of curve to them, unfortunately. But foils are foils, aren't they? Which brings Colossal Knight. Wow. See, this guy, compared with Ferocious Charge, you know, Ferocious Charge +4/+4, Colossal Knight +4/+2, but it's just a slightly bigger man. It isn't absolutely hulking monstrosity that's destroying everything. And for the sake of 2 toughness. Doesn't add up to me. Just doesn't make much sense. I suppose you do get trample. But then trample surely would make you bigger. Like the Ferocious Charge, you'd expect that to have the trample, wouldn't you? Anyway, we're hammering on. Target creature gets +4/+2 and trample until end of turn. There you go. Simple combat trick. That's it. Let's have a look. See what I mean? Like, he's using a human being as a club. I never knew that about this art. His friend must be looking on like, oh dear God, Frank's been swung around. What do we do? So there, Colossal Knight. He's like 2.5 times the size of a regular human. But then +4/+4, absolutely colossal monstrosity. Yeah. I don't really think it adds up. Anyway, the actual foiling is slight bit of eye foil. Got some details, you know, on his armor, and then that toga thing that really stands out. It's decent, nice bit of detailing, And if you bring it back here, you see all the rocks sort of frame the image really well, especially this sort of outcrop of it. Like, it really brings your eye to where this man is being tossed about. Yeah, right. Really cool image. I think we're going to go with it's an 8. I like it. Bit of personality to it. You know, a man's getting chucked about by his legs. Always a good night. And it's just fun, decent. I like it. And with that, the show's over. If you'd like to consider subscribing, I wouldn't be averse to it. You know, it'd really help me out. I'd really like it. I'd smile quite a bit. And that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna, you know, yeah. Bye.